Hi, this is Kristen Marcus Hempstead, and I'm here to do a quick talk on the basics of meditation. When I started this, I began to look up types of meditation, when it started, how many people are doing meditation, and really, you can go out online and look up. There's dozens and dozens of different types of meditations out there. I did see that the earliest written records for meditation was the Hindu traditions, and that was about 1500 BC. So people have been practicing meditation for years, centuries actually, and in many different cultures, many different religions. And so really anybody can do this. And I know I hear it already. I can't focus. I don't do it right. I don't have time. I don't get anything out of it. But really, all you need is 5 minutes to get started with this. And the benefits can be amazing if you're open to it. So here's my opinion for what meditation is and what meditation isn't. So to me, Kristen, meditation is a way for me to tap into my heart, mind, and soul. Tap into my inner tuition, my higher guidance, me as a soul. It helps get blocked energy moving. When your energy is blocked, it's hard to really kind of get things moving and see things very clearly. And to help me connect with God, spirit, angels, and guides. It's just a really sacred space for that. Speaking of sacred, to me, it's a very personal and sacred space. So I'm going to come up with, I'm going to show you some different things that I find helpful, and it's really going to be up to you to find out what works for you. I tried to do what worked for other people, and it really didn't fit me, and I found some things that really helped me, and you can go ahead and see what applies to you. And so I also find it a very focused place to ask for guidance and help. You can ask for guidance and help anytime, anywhere, but sometimes we're not open to it. So when we're meditating, we're a little bit more open to the spirit world around us. So to me, what meditation is not, I do not see it as a portal for negative entities to come through. I used to be afraid of having to protect myself from negative entities. I really don't think that way at all anymore. I think we're all a part of God. We're all positive, and I put out the intent of connecting with God and my higher self. So to me, that's very important. I do not see it as a place to give away my power. I don't come there and ask questions. What do I do next? How do I make this decision? Tell me what next steps to make. I have my own free will, and to me, meditation shouldn't be a place where you're coming to give up your free will and asking what is my next step that I should take in everything. I also don't believe you need to be a sage on top of a mountaintop, floating and levitating and making this your life's work of meditating 24 by 7. Anybody can get benefit out of it when you're open and you let that guard down. You don't have to be laying on a bed of nails, even though I do have a friend of mine who does have a bed of nails she lays on, which is pretty cool. I also don't believe that meditation is for parlor tricks, kind of like being a medium. It's not for parlor tricks, where make the lights go on, make things happen, show this in my mind. It's really more of that sacred space for you to connect with yourself. So another question is really, so how do I get started? So to me, I'm looking at this very high level because when I first started, I was looking at, oh gosh, how do I do this? What are some of the basics? And you go out online and there's so much information. Then where do we even start? So I took this and broke it down into just two basic definitions and just very, very high level. It's either active and guided or passive mindful. So it can be something that's you're actively physically moving, or you're listening to something to help guide you through the process, or you're sitting back being more passive, kind of like what a lot of people think that meditation is. So I look at it those ways, and both are really useful to get yourself out of your head and to help you gain clarity. In the end, meditation should be relaxing. You should feel like you woke up from like a short nap. Anxiety should go down. You should feel more centered. If you don't, do not worry. Don't worry, because you all have to start somewhere, and it does get easier once you come there, put out your intent, and sort of like let the expectations go down of, this is what I expect to get out of this meditation. Or, yeah, this is the outcome that I expect, because you could put your intent of what you would like to get out of the meditation, but how you receive it is totally up to universe. So don't overthink it. It takes some time to surrender, and there's certain things that do come up during meditation that can, kind of help get you distracted too. So when I look at those examples, I see definitions of active meditation being something like, a friend of mine likes to wash dishes. So she washes dishes, and she like feels how the soap feels in her hands, looks at the bubbles, um, um, uh, looks at the plates and see how clean they are, and the shine and the smell. She really focuses on those pieces of it, and it really helps her relax. um, Walking or running in nature, not ruminating about what's going on in your life, but connecting with the birds and connecting with the leaves and spirit. I've got a friend of mine who spends a lot of time outside, and she will just walk around. And she says, like, I'm going to talk to my trees. So she talks to her trees. She's had a hummingbird land on her hand. So she's not sitting back and being very passive. She's out walking. She's connecting. She's not ruminating about things, but she's, looking at the trees and the leaves and the birds, and really connecting that way. I love going through a bookstore. When I go through a real bookstore and I open up the books and I look at the words on there and the pictures, and you get the awesome sound, and it's quiet and it's peaceful. I can be in a bookstore for 20 minutes, and it feels like I've had like a 2-hour nap. So I love it. And guided meditations. You can have guided meditations for, this is how you meet your spirit guides. This is how you connect with your loved ones. I have one of those on my website. When you sign up for my newsletter, you can download one of those. So there's lots of guided meditations out there too, to help you realize your life's purpose and different things like that. And what's nice about guided meditations is it doesn't give you time to overthink things and have you go ahead and do it again. I used to do that, where it's like, oh, okay, I didn't do that right, so I'm gonna go back. Okay, I'm gonna breathe in, and it really sort of walks you through it, so you don't have the opportunity, and it really gets you into that feeling place. So that's more like the active and guided. When it comes to more of the passive and mindful, it's not just sitting here and just there are different techniques. There's different processes for how you move energy, bring it in. There's heart-centered meditation. There's transcendental meditation. I have a hard time saying that one. It's TM, but there's all sorts of different like passive meditations out there. So, and I call it passive because someone's not sitting here telling me what to do, and I'm not out walking around. There is some attention and different things you have to do internally to, do a good meditation. Or it's just sitting in a chair and relaxing and taking a deep breath in and just getting yourself centered and just getting still and asking for guidance. I do a meditation before I fly on a plane. I get myself to that relaxed space, and then I imagine all like the sounds around me. I just let them get me more relaxed, and they're not telling me what to do. I'm just paying attention to the signals around me and just get myself more and more relaxed. So the active, guided, passive, or mindful. So again, that's my definition, very, very high level, but that has really kind of helped me, help people at least get started. Because that's what people are looking for, is how to actually get started. So here's some things that I do to get myself going, and I'm going to be putting a blog out about this too. I have my sacred space, so I have my office here, and this is my sacred space. And so I do my meditations here. I also have a place upstairs where I do meditations as well. And you can pretty much do them anywhere you'd like to, but sit in a chair, put your feet in the floor, unplug from society, unplug your phone. Unplug your home phone, tell people I'm busy, right now. Put your IM on Do Not Disturb. If it's loud, I have earplugs that I put in my ears. If I just have no tolerance for any external stimuli, I will do that to really just kind of quiet things down. And then I have a notebook beside me. So if I'm either distracted by something that no longer doesn't really suit me anymore, it's like a negative thought, I will go ahead and write that down. Or if I'm inspired, if something hits me and I'm feeling inspired in spirit, I will go ahead and write that down as well so I don't forget it. So get there. I find my center by breathing. And I used to get really upset when people would say, just breathe. So the way I look at it now is I'm going to breathe to get oxygen into my body. Breathing to get oxygen in my body. Inhale 3, hold it 1, 2, 3, exhale 1, 2, 3. So do that, get in your space, get centered, and when you find it, you'll know it. So breathe in until you find yourself getting centered. Okay? And then I do something called running my energy. And this is something I've learned from some online training that I'm taking. So once you get centered, be aware of the space around you, left, right, front, center, top, bottom. And then imagine that you're a part of something larger than you. Your soul is huge, your soul is vast. And have that feeling around you that you're connected to the divine, but then you're also connected to the earth. And at the same time, imagine the energy coming from top down into your chest, and then bottom up into your chest, mixing in your chest. And then when you exhale, blows out, and just like is recycling that energy, taking which no longer suits you anymore, and you blow it out. So top down, bottom up when you breathe in. And do that a few times. When you breathe in, imagine the energy from the earth coming up into your chest and the divine down to your chest, swirling together, and breathe out. And don't overthink it, just do it. And that gets the energy moving within you. And I find if I'm having a rough day, or if I have a client who's having a rough day, I'll say, find your center, breathe, get yourself centered, and run your energy. Top, down, bottom, up, blend, out. And then you can just sit there and just have that energy just flowing through with just a normal breath. Get yourself centered, running your energy. And now just sit there and just feel the space around you, left, right, front, center, top, bottom, and just see how that space feels different. Get into just a good cadence with your breath. Don't have to worry about taking the big breaths and thinking about top, down, bottom, up. Just sit there and just be. And now we're going to put out the intent for the meditation. I wasn't quite sure where to start, and so a friend of mine would say, how can I be of service? And that's a really good one to start with, is how can I be of service? Because oftentimes we want these groundbreaking things to happen to us during our meditations, but I think if it was something too earth-shattering, I think it would scare us. So I like, how can I be of service? And I will just sit there and I will put that intent out to spirit, and then I will just sit back. I don't expect it to come a certain way. I expect the answer to come a certain way. I will just let myself be open, be present, and just be receptive to everything that is happening out there. And I'll pay attention to how I feel. If I have thoughts come into my head that are about work, or about the day, or something that's happened, or sometimes negative thoughts will come in, get people upset, people get angry, write it down on your notebook and get out of your head, and then just go aside and just, not a big deal. I'm not judging. I'm just going to go ahead and just move that out. So just pay attention to how you're feeling. I have a noise machine I like to have on that has either white noise or a wave machine on it. So I'm not thinking about, oh, how long has it been? How long has it been? Don't think about time. Don't think about space. Don't think about future, past. Just do what you can to just be in the moment right now. So find your center by breathing, run in your energy, set your intent. How can I be of service? God, help me find a solution to this problem. I'd like my spirit guides to present themselves to me. And the next is just to be open. And it sounds very simple, but it does take some practice to sit there and just be open to what is coming at you, to what you're feeling, to what you're sensing. If something doesn't feel like it's from spirit, if it feels heavy, it's probably your own ego coming into play. So just go ahead and just breathe it out and just let that go. I'm just going to let that go. So just be open to what comes. You may get a symbol, a sensation, an inkling, something that kind of repeats itself that doesn't seem like it's something that's necessarily coming, like from you. And if you don't get something, don't worry about it. You're just taking some time for yourself to get centered, and maybe you just want to find some peace for a while. So just stay in this time as long as you like. Don't have expectation for what it's going to be like, because you may actually miss the message. And that's oftentimes what happens, is people are not ready because they're expecting something to come a certain way, and it comes a different way. So just kind of sit there and be open. If you're distracted by emotion, like I mentioned, write that down, or ask yourself, what am I supposed to do with this emotion? You may get some insight into how to incorporate or move past an emotion that you've been feeling. Okay? So once you've been in this space for a while, just sit there and just be. And then when you're done, you can go ahead and close out this time by taking a deep breath, thanking Spirit, God, family, whoever for being there with you, and thank them for the time today. Thank them for their ongoing support. Just be very thankful and be very open to what you just experienced. And then take a deep breath, and then you can kind of start moving around. If you did have some emotions and you wrote them down in your notebook, take some time now to connect specifically with that emotion, and just allow yourself to write it out. Don't overthink it like, well, why did this happen? Why did this? Why did this? Just write from that emotion. You can cuss, you can swear, whatever you want to do. Just go ahead and write anything that you like down. If you're inspired, you can maybe write some more information about what inspired you during your time. But with practice, you're going to get a lot better at this. I'll sometimes sit in the tub for an hour and it feels like 5 minutes. So just take your time, find out what works for you, and just take even 5 minutes out of your day to get centered, and give yourself some time to get used to it. So that's my quick little 15-minute on meditation, and I'd love to hear your feedback on it, but at least just give it a try. And if you're fighting it like I did, maybe it's something that you need. It's definitely something that I really needed too. Okay, thanks everybody.